Welcome back. We're now being joined by Dr. Tam-George, who's a communication and media consultant, former commissioner for information in River State. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And happy Independence Day to you.
Same to you.
You look like you're very excited.
Oh, well, we are 57 as a country, so
Okay.
I think Nigerians are generally excited.
Yeah, indeed. That's one of the things we observed, that Nigerians were generally excited in spite of the seeming challenges there might be. But generally, what's your take on Nigeria at 57?
I think it's an evolving nation. You know, we are experiencing what you might call the trauma of nationhood. You know, we've got challenges on nearly every sector. Our leadership has been tested. We have no alternative than to work towards a better country. I think that one of the things we need to emphasize at this point of our nationhood is to evolve a political system that can be a lot more inclusive. The kind of exclusionary politics that we've seen since 1960 has meant that we haven't quite used the best of our people in order to deliver service to Nigerians. I think that now that we have the opportunity of celebrating our 57th anniversary, we need to do some stock taking to say, look, how can we better administer this country? How can we deliver service to
Dr. George, we would. I just want us to probably see a video of some of the things that had stopped happening before now. For instance, the Eagle Square has stopped having any form of activity, major activity during the independence celebrations. So let's see if we can look at that video and see how excitement returned to the Eagle Square on Independence Day. Then we'll come back and see how we can evolve and really evolve into a bigger nation as we celebrate.
Young, full of life and from various schools. Their origins, faith and culture as diverse as their uniforms. They answered the call to unite and celebrate the nation's 57th anniversary, and the venue is the Eagle Square. Their host delivers this message.
As we mark 57 years of nationhood, I wish to assure all residents of the FCT that will continue to build upon the vision, the guidance, and the mandate of our leader, President Muhammadu Buhari.
The children put up beautiful performances. The Eagle Square, flanked by the Federal Secretariat, the National Assembly with a spectacular view of the Asul Rock, is a symbolic arena for the transfer of power. It has also hosted commercial, religious and political events, including the National Day Parade. But the last time such parade held on this arena is in 2010. There were a few people in the stands to listen to the message of peace and hope, and conspicuously missing are the service chiefs, the military, paramilitary and the federal authorities like it used to be. Some Nigerians say they remember the recent past with nostalgia.
It's very sad because then back we used to see different parade, even Mr. President himself used to be here at this parade ground. But very unfortunately, due to insecurity in the country, today look at the number of people that are present in this Eagle Square.
Past independent parades, the president and all the federal government crew always be here and other places. Why at this moment, why is it so? Second, independent parade is never a children or a childish parade.
With relative peace in the nation, they believe it is safe to put back the pomp and pageantry into the Independence Day celebrations and return the Eagle Square to its glorious days as early as October 1, 2018. Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.
Welcome back. We still have Dr. Austin Tam-George, a communications and media consultant. When we started, I asked a question about how you'd feel generally about Nigeria 57. You said Nigeria is an evolving nation, and we have an opportunity to build a better structure. How do we go about that?
I think we need to get the character of our politics right, because much of what happens in this country is determined by the political leadership of the country. We've seen since 1960 a tendency towards an exclusionary politics, something that we need to work on in terms of collectivizing our people, making sure that we use the best possible hands to get the job done. We haven't achieved that yet. And I think that that is a source of concern for many people. If we still think of administration in terms of 95% or 5%, the tendency is that people would ask, what is at stake for me in this system? And so the more and more people feel that they are disentitled from participating in the economic and political processes of this country, the more they feel that they are no stakeholders. And you see, in your time, once you feel that a system disentitles you, a system does not include you, the tendency is to move far away, from such a system. That is why we are beginning to see more and more agitation towards restructuring, towards separatism. But I think that the more and more we focus on policies that will bring the maximum benefit to all of our people, wherever they are located, the more, the sense of belonging or citizenship will be heightened in this country.
The argument out there in some quarters is that this thing which you talk about, this alienation, has been there from, it's like it is the foundation. So for you to say we can still handle this building as it is without having to deal with the foundation, you might still end up having a problem in the future. So do we go back to rework the foundation, or how do we evolve this building without having to deal with that foundation, if indeed the foundation is faulty?
No, I think that, nations undergo, traumas of development. Those kind of things happen all the time. What we should emphasize is, what is the kind of direction we want for this country? What is the right set of leadership that we need to identify? What are the national goals? I believe that, beyond the call for restructuring simply means dealing with the fundamental architecture of the country. But we need to make sure that we understand that beyond restructuring, we need to rebuild, the values that will move this country towards the direction we want. How can we, for instance, increase participation in the political process? How can we make sure values such as egalitarianism, equal opportunity for everyone, free enterprise, are values that everyone share? How can we make sure that if you leave Port Harcourt, for instance, and set up your life in Bauchi, you will be considered an equal citizen of the state? These are the kind of traumas of nationhood that we need to deal with. Do we have the right set of leadership dealing with it at this time? I think that's an open question, something that every Nigerian has got to contribute to.